Creative abilities of AI. A defining trait of humans is our creativity. We have the ability to come up with new ideas and express originality. We apply our creativity to create art, music, and inventions. Quote. Noun. Creativity, the use of the imagination or original ideas, especially in the production of an artistic work. End quote. Oxford Dictionary. Can a machine ever have a creative spirit or an imagination? Original thought from a machine sounds like a contradiction in terms. Machines are designed and programmed by humans. We tell them what to do. How then could a machine be creative? Despite the seeming contradiction, machines have been made that challenge humans in creative domains. There are now machines adept at making art. Machines have conceived of patent-worthy inventions. Arguably, some machines have even shown that they have an imagination. These endeavors have spawned a new field in AI called computational creativity. Art. In 2017, a team from Berkeley's AI research laboratory created an image translation system called CycleGAN. Once trained, it could turn pictures of horses into zebras, or scenes of winter to summer. The creators of CycleGAN took it a step further. They decided to train the AI in the styles of various Impressionist painters. Once trained, they provided a photograph to the AI and asked it to generate a painting in the style of Claude Monet, Vincent van Gogh, Paul Cézanne or the Japanese style of ukiyo-e. Their result was incredible. Any image provided to the AI was converted to a painting in the style of Monet or Van Gogh. But this AI has merely learned to copy the styles of other artists. It may take skill, but what creativity is involved? A truly creative AI would form its own style. This is exactly the challenge that Ahmed El-Gamal, director of the Art and Artificial Intelligence Lab at Rutgers, aimed to solve. He created a new type of AI he calls a Creative Adversarial Network or CAN. The goal of a CAN is to create novelty, for example artwork in styles different from what it's seen before. Accordingly, artwork produced by a CAN leans towards abstract pieces. El-Gamal said, "I am surprised by the output every time I run it." Below is a sample of the AI's creations. Quote. We measured the difference in responses towards the human art and the machine art, and found that there is very little difference. Actually, some people are more inspired by the art that is done by machine. End quote. Ahmed El-Gamal. We need not wonder whether someday human artists will have to compete against machines. That day has already passed. In 2018, the auction house Christie's became the first to list artwork created by an AI. The portrait fetched $432,500, 45 times its estimated price. Hugo Cazels-Dupré, the human who used AI to create the art, said, "We found that portraits provided the best way to illustrate our point, which is that algorithms are able to emulate creativity." Music. Musical expression is not uniquely human. Whales and birds also sing. But could an AI create music? In 2017, a team from Microsoft created Barkbot, an AI trained to compose music in the style of Johann Sebastian Bach. To test it, the researchers built a website, Barkbot.com, where people can listen to samples and guess whether it was something created by Bach or by Barkbot. Out of 2,336 participants, the fraction of people that could tell Barkbot from the real Bach was only 1% higher than could be expected from random guessing. In other words, people had a negligible ability to tell Barkbot from the real thing. You can try it yourself at Barkbot.com. Quote. As someone who makes music, the idea that code can do what I do is freaky. It's unnerving to think that an algorithm can make a not terrible song in minutes and that AI is getting in on creative turf we categorize as distinctly human. End quote. Danny Deal, writer for The Verge. AI is increasingly being used in the music industry, and has applications in writing lyrics, melodies, and even predicting sales that a musical piece will generate. There is an online demo that allows you to use an AI to generate song lyrics with different topics, genres, and tones. When given the topic of cat, with a pop genre and happy mood, it produced. Quote. Verse 1. You rise so that you embrace me. Like a cat downs the cat with the nose up. He got this cat, he got this cat. He got this cat, he came home. Pre-chorus. I wish I was a cat that can do all the things a cat can do. I wish I was a cat that can leap from the ceiling. Chorus. So how did you manage to open up my heart, and still feel so alone? The snow is falling, and my cat is hiding from a storm inside my heart from not sleeping. And cats with silver chains? End quote. Recent evidence suggests that AI has even developed a taste for music. At least, it seems to understand how much humans will like a given piece of music. The startup Hyperlife claims to have created an AI that predicts sales figures with 83% accuracy. Their system predicted sales figures for 200 tracks by 10 major artists. Their technology works by modeling the neurological, physiological and behavioral responses the music will invoke in the listener's brain. Given its accuracy, we must wonder whether machines can have an aesthetic sense. Imagination. Imagination is the ability to generate new ideas and imagery out of nothing. In the last few years, the capacity for machines to imagine has not only arisen, but in a short time has vastly outstripped the abilities of human imagination, at least in terms of accuracy and realism. Take for example, the photo of a person created at thispersondoesnotexist.com. This person may look real, but in truth she does not exist. She was never born and never stopped to take a photo. There is no mind or soul behind her eyes. The photo and person were imagined by an AI. Created on the fly by visiting thispersondoesnotexist.com. You too can visit this site and refresh it to get an endless supply of photos of people who don't exist. DeepMind extended this technology beyond faces. It has the ability to invent realistic pictures of cheeseburgers, dogs, butterflies, and landscapes. There are also AIs that can be inspired to imagine. One takes rough sketches of cats, buildings, or shoes and turns them into photorealistic interpretations. Another AI turns textual descriptions into images. This technology has improved beyond photographs into the realm of video. It can be used to swap out actors in movies, such as replacing Arnold Schwarzenegger with Sylvester Stallone in Terminator 2, or used in the popular trend of putting Nicolas Cage in every movie. With the latest technology, an AI can take a single photograph and bring it to life by predicting the future. A team from MIT's AI lab trained an AI to predict the next few seconds of video from a single picture. In 2019, Samsung's AI lab created Few Shot. It can take a single photo, and imagine it as a living, emoting, and talking person. To demonstrate the power of needing only a single photo, they used the Mona Lisa. Invention. Invention is another expression of human creativity. Inventing new tools and technologies, we have transformed our way of life. Human creativity brought us from tribespeople to having every convenience of modern society. But humans are no longer the sole possessors of ingenuity. The computer scientist John Causa created the field of genetic programming. Genetic programming is inspired by the techniques of biological evolution. It enables a program to update and adapt itself in the search for more optimum solutions to problems. Causa used these techniques to build the Invention machine. The Invention machine has optimized and rediscovered the designs of antennae, circuit boards, lenses and factories. It was able to, in Causa's words, automatically synthesize complete designs for 6 optical lens systems that duplicated the functionality of previously patented lens systems. In 2005, one of the designs created by the Invention machine was granted patent number 6,847,851 by the US Patent and Trademark Office. The rise of AI inventors is creating problems for patent offices around the world. In 2018, the European Patent Office rejected 2 inventions where an artificial intelligence was the sole inventor on the grounds that machines do not have legal personality and cannot own property. Quote, "There are machines right now that are doing far more on their own than to help an engineer or a scientist or an inventor do their jobs. We will get to a point where a court or legislature will say the human being is so disengaged, so many levels removed, that the actual human did not contribute to the inventive concept." End quote. Andrei Iancu, Director of the US Patent and Trademark Office, 2020. We've already seen that AI can invent new strategies and tactics in games like chess and Go. Quote, "We all expect machines to play very solid and slow games, but AlphaZero just does the opposite. It is surprising to see a machine playing so aggressively, and it also shows a lot of creativity." End quote. Garry Kasparov, Grandmaster and former world chess champion. Quote, "I thought AlphaGo was based on probability calculation and it was merely a machine. But when I saw this move I changed my mind. Surely AlphaGo is creative." End quote. Lee Sedol, 9 Dan professional Go player and former champion, referring to Move 37.